Every year, over 8 lakh people are filling the form, yet only few get selected. Why is that so? What is it that makes these people who have been selected stand out? That is their strategy of preparation of UPSC Civil Services examination. And if you want to also stand a high chance of clearing UPSC Civil Services examination, this is exactly how you should be preparing for UPSC. Now, of course, there will be certain modifications with respect to your own understanding, but at a macro level, this is what you should follow. So in this, we will be discussing about first things first, knowing the syllabus. Then we will look at certain mistakes that the aspirants have to avoid. Then how one should choose the optional subject. Not just that, the importance of optional will also be told to you. Then we will see the integrated manner of studies, but every time that will not be possible. So when to study in an integrated manner and when to study specifically for prelims, mains, every detail will be told to you here. And then finally, the most important thing that actually will help you clear the prelims, and of course later on mains as well, but most importantly prelims. For that we will see a detailed revision plan as well. So let us get started with the very first thing, that is knowing the syllabus. Now the question is, why knowing the syllabus actually matters? So I think there's nothing more important than that. See, you have to know the rule of the game. So first thing is knowing about UPSC and its pattern. So for that, another video has been uploaded. Please watch it on Legacy IS Academy's YouTube channel. Now after that, the next most important thing is knowing the syllabus. Now why does it matter is because first thing, it helps you to understand what not to study. Yes, absolutely right. See, we worry a lot about what should we study, what sources we should refer, this, that, everything. But in UPSC, it is equally important for you to understand as to what not to study. Why is that the case? That is because UPSC has such a vast, broad syllabus. Basically, it's no syllabus at all. It's very generically mentioned. So the scope is endless. That is why being selective is a very important skill to do that, because you should not be off track, you should not be doing that thing that is not required, so on and so forth. Next, it will make your newspaper reading more targeted. When you are studying current affairs from newspaper, which news to study, which news to avoid, what detail to go to, all that thing, how will you get to know? From the syllabus. You have to connect the syllabus topic to the news. If it is not connecting, then you don't study basically that or that part from that, right? Next, it will help decode UPSC's hidden demands of the framework. Hidden demands as in, when UPSC talks about the impact of a particular scheme, you know that in your syllabus they have talked about poverty, social issues, gender equality, empowerment, women empowerment, etc. So can't you look for the impacts which will have on these sections of the society as well? It automatically helps you answer the question as well. Next, it helps you improve your note making quality and the relevance. That means making notes of things that are relevant and improving the quality of your notes as well. That is what it helps with, right? Or else you will mindlessly start making notes and you will start making notes of the entire book, ending up writing the entire book. Then it's no use, because you already had a book. So why to create another book? So this syllabus will tell you what things to be made notes of and what things to avoid. Next is the PYQ analysis will become more effective, because you can relate PYQs are coming from which topic, what is the basically what are the high yielding topics, so on and so forth, and helps to connect the static subject with the current affairs. This is similar to this static subject related syllabus, connecting it to current affairs, right? So that is the importance of knowing the syllabus. So after watching this video, first thing you should do is write the syllabus down, stick it at a wall, and don't have to exactly mug it up, but every day if you see, you will remember anyhow. It is to keep in mind when you are studying, especially the current affairs. Next, let us understand the biggest mistake that the biggest mistakes, in fact, that aspirants make. Number one, starting current affairs before the basics. Now, this is not all wrong. I'm not going to say that. Let's say if you have started preparing right now in June 2026 for 2027, you could start current affairs also together. But then you should keep in mind that if you are not understanding things from the current affairs, do not panic. It is because the static is not clear. You don't even have the basics right now. So either you wait for a couple of months and then start your current affairs, or if you are just reading and trying to understand as much as possible, don't get disheartened after a couple of months when your basics are clear. That is when you will understand that as well. So that's one thing. Second, reading too many books. For one single subject, reading multiple books. For current affairs, reading multiple magazines. Please avoid this. There will always be a magazine in which something additional will be there, and then another magazine in which something additional which is there which is not there in this magazine, and so on and so forth. So stop that vicious cycle, right? Just focus on the resources that we have told you. Okay, that's it. Don't do anything extra. Once you are thorough with that and you can answer any kind of question based on that, application based, current affairs linkage, this, that, then fair enough, expand your scope. But till then, please don't do that. Next, ignoring the NCERTs. Guys, please do not ignore the NCERTs, especially the history NCERTs, the geography NCERTs. Very important. But polity and economy NCERTs also become important because these are technical subjects, especially economy is a technical subject, so you may find it difficult to understand. Standard book may cover everything that is there in the NCERT, economy NCERT, but it can be overwhelming, technical. So it's better that you study from the NCERT. NCERT also helps you to understand as to how to write the answer in the simple basic sentences and words which NCERT uses. Next, delaying the optional subject. Many aspirants start the optional subject after prelims. Now, I was one of them, but my issue was that I was a working professional and I started very late, so I didn't have much time. I had just few months before prelims. So that is the whole point of it. I did not have time. I started after prelims. Now I did score well, but I could have done even better, right? I reached my personality test, but that could have helped me even clear, right? So that is the importance of optional subject. Even after scoring 299, I will fall short. So if I would have got those additional 3 marks, that would have helped. Anyway, the idea is don't delay it too much. I do understand working professionals may have a concern, but try not to do it. For others, there is no negotiation. This is no non-negotiable thing. Next, making notes too early. Very important. Students start reading for the first time and they want to make notes. How can you make notes? You don't even know what is important, what is not important, what is relevant, what is not relevant, what you are understanding, not understanding, what you remember, what you won't remember. Nothing you know. Make it when you are revising for the second or third time. That's when you make the notes. In first reading, please avoid it. Last, studying without revision. Students simply keep on studying multiple books and they don't revise. How will you remember, guys? That is why link it to the first thing that I've told you, to the second thing. Keep the books restricted so that you can revise multiple times. That is very important. Next, choosing the optional subject. Now here, I am very clear with respect to choosing the optional subject. See, what an aspirant should do is choose the optional as soon as possible, but not as fast as possible. Fast means with respect to speed. Do not think, okay, today I will sit and decide optional, look at the subject name and then decide this is my option. No, don't do it fast. Use certain criteria to do it, but do it as soon as possible. So now is the right time to start thinking about it, and within a few weeks or so, decide. So what are the selection criteria for optional? Your strength and your weakness play a very important role. Strength as in, are you an aspirant who can analyze things well? Or are you an aspirant who remembers things well? Are you good with current affairs and dynamic things? Or are you someone who wants static things? What is your strength? What is your weakness? Based on that, bifurcate the subjects that will be of your strength and will be of your weakness. Then look at interest. Now you may think strength and interest are the same, but they are not. You may have interest in boxing, but you may not be good at boxing. So if you have to challenge someone, don't challenge them at boxing. That is what it is. So you might be interested in something, you might be interested in philosophy, right? But you might be interested in history, but you're not good at it. So choose the subjects wherein you have the strength. Then look at the syllabus size. History syllabus, too vast. Sociology, very less. Anthropology, even less. Right? So decide that. Now people will say history is vast, but it helps in GS1. Absolutely it does. Absolutely. So does sociology. GS1, society, 8 to 9 questions. More questions in mains than from there. Of course, you will say it helps in prelims also, but even if you remove the part that helps in your prelims and main for history, still history syllabus is very vast. So keep all that in mind and then decide. And then finally, the availability of guidance. Here at Legacy IS Academy, you will have sociology optional, anthropology optional, psychology optional, and PSI are optional. All 4 most popular options available, right? So you have to see about the guidance and then decide. Next, a very important and a nuanced topic of integrated studies versus prelims and mains specific studies. See, what happens is throughout your preparation, what happens automatically is integrated studies because the syllabus is overlapping. Apart from few exceptions like ethics paper and then world history and then ancient medieval history, other things are overlapping. So you study India in integrated manner. But when the prelims is approaching, then you have to study in a prelims specific manner. That means focus on the facts and the concept. Avoid the things like advantages, disadvantages, challenges, solution, way forward, this, that. Remove that. Your revision becomes fast. Is that clear? And then you'll practice MCQs and stuff. Whereas when prelims are done, now you're not going to practice MCQs and stuff. You are going to focus on structuring the answer, using examples and stuff like that. But while reading and revising, this is where the specificity comes. For prelims, stop reading challenges, solutions, way forward, positives, negatives, etc. 2-3 months before the prelims. Stop that. Just focus on what will be asked in prelims. I hope that's clear. Rest of your entire study is basically an integrated study altogether. You cannot as such directly bifurcate that. I hope that is absolutely clear to all of you. Next, the prelims revision plan. Very, very important. After this prelims revision plan, I am going to tell you your entire macro level plan starting from today up till your mains 2027. So stay tuned for that. Now, prelims revision should start 60 days before the prelims. In these 60 days, you should revise 3 times. First revision in 20 days, second in 20 days. Then 20 more days are remaining. So before the third revision, revise your entire test series in 10 days. Very important. Especially if your test series is the Legacy IS Academy test series, because what will happen is around 30-40 questions, 40 plus questions you can answer based on Legacy IS Academy's test series. Of course, I'm not saying directly. We don't know what questions will be asked, but we based on the themes, based on the types, based on the topics or the importance of the low-hanging fruits, etc. that are there. From those knowledge that you have gained, you will be able to, if you are able to utilize that knowledge, you should be able to solve it. I hope that's clear. Now, then you do the third revision in the last 10 days. Why? Because in the third revision, just before the exam, the first thing that you are revising, you will not look at it again and you have to give the exam. So there should not be huge amount of time difference between the first thing that you're studying in the last revision to the time of exam. So this is how you should be revising. Now you may think, sir, how is the revision possible in 2020 and 10 days? That is because you will have things underlined, highlighted, notes made, everything. So you will not be reading the entire books. You would simply be needing the notes that is made in written form, in digital form, or in any form whatsoever. I hope that is clear. Now comes the most important topic or the slide of this session. I hope you are sitting with a pen and a paper. Write down this. You can modify it a bit with respect to your requirement, but this is what you should follow. Please, guys, I urge you to write this down. So month of June is what is going on. This is June till August 2027. Now remember, how far you are from mains, more focus you should give on mains. The more you reach closer to prelims, more focus is on. So how far you are from prelims, in fact, because first prelims will come. The more focus you should give on mains. And the closer you come, then the focus of prelims starts. So right now you should be worrying about your four pillars of UPSC, that is polity, that is economy, that is geography, and that is history. These are the four pillars. Now I'm not saying in the remaining days you will cover this entire polity and geography. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, okay, here your geography and polity can start. It can continue up to July month. Okay. Then here your optional, at least in mid, your optional should start. Along with, you may add, let's say, economy to it. Because your optional started, more focus will be on the optional. And whatever the remaining part of these subjects are there, you will do that. Then your optional will continue here also. Your optional will continue here also, and your optional will continue here also. So economy, let's say, continue here, then your history also starts, and then your history also continues here. Right? Along when you are studying geography, at that time or later on, you can basically add the environment. There are a lot of overlaps also with it. Environment, science and tech. Right? And the same thing gets continued over here, and by December or so, what will happen is your four pillars, so by December, your four pillars of UPSC will be done. Your optional, in fact, before December only, it may percolate a bit into December. So round about mid-December, your four pillars of UPSC will be done. Your optional, not just the classes of the optional, but the reading, revision, answer writing, because in our classes we ensure that the aspirants do answer writing as well. Plus in here for GS papers also, your answer writing will be happening simultaneously. So this all will be done. And your prelims test series would have then started. Prelims test series. And now what you will do is, you will simply revise and give tests. Revise, this revision is not from the revision plan. This is revising based on the test syllabus and giving test. And you can in the meanwhile also start, writing more prevalently your answers. So you can do that up to January and February also, but March, April, May, you will only be doing the prelims related studies alone. So this is how you should be following. One, so the date of prelims has come for 2027 as well. It's one day before the date what it was this year. So it's on 23rd May. So on 23rd May, when your prelims is over, you will have June, you will have July, and then you will have August as well. So basically, you are required in these 3 months to simply revise the content. A couple of months current affairs would be added. After the prelims, you will be left with about 3 months. In those 3 months, majorly June, July, and August, you have to simply revise what you have done, write the answers, take the feedback from us, improve by writing more answers, then take the feedback from us for that as well. And that's how you should improve your answer writing. A couple of things that would be added would be basically a couple of months current affairs would get added, the May current affairs which you would have not studied, and the June, July current affairs may get added. So that is the only additional thing that you will do. Apart from that, you will simply revise your optional, you will simply revise your GS, and you will basically start revising it and start writing the answer. Now when you get your answers checked, right, you will also be having one-on-one discussion with the respective faculties who have checked your paper, in order to not just get the feedback, but to also understand the feedback. And after understanding the feedback, write it down in a one exhaustive list as to what issues there are there, and in the next answers and the next test onwards, ensure you don't repeat the same mistakes. Make as much mistakes as possible, but avoid repeating the mistakes, avoid doing this, and rather learn from it. And if you keep on doing that under our guidance, you will stand an amazing chance for the call for personality test. And for the personality test, Our team will, of course, again be there to guide you in that as well, to conduct your mock interviews in every possible way. Means every type of interview, a very easy one, a very difficult one, wherein we make it life very difficult for you, or maybe at times very comfortable for you. So we will have our expert panelists, ex-bureaucrats, etc., who would be conducting these personality tests for you, so that you can finally see your name in that UPSC's final list. Thank you.